state of mind phase, the most beautiful golden age, and after that, then the silver age. And both these ages were symbolically having the awareness of truth, of soul consciousness, of purity, of peace. And I was very naturally aware of myself as this innate being. And so in the tree, if you see, the period of golden age and the period of silver age has been defined through the trunk. Because the trunk, if you see, is the most strongest part of the whole tree, and it is one. There is unity. So that is why we find that what is common in golden age and silver age is the unity of consciousness. Advaita dharma, Advaita smriti, Advaita rajya, Advaita bhasha. That is, there is oneness, unity of consciousness, unity of religion, unity of rule, and there is only one awareness, very naturally, that we are a being of light, a spiritual being, and a child of the divine, having all the virtues and qualities very naturally in our awareness. And that is why we listen the word, we use the word very often, dharma. If we see the significance of this word dharma in Sanskrit, we find dharma is also very closely connected to the values or the virtues or the qualities, the innate values and virtues. And that's why many times we use this word in Hindi language and we say Guna Dharma. That is, suppose we talk about water and we say, what is the Guna Dharma? That is, Pani ka Guna Dharma kya hai? What is the innate value or virtue or speciality of water? Integral quality of water. And that's why we say Pani ka gun dharma kya hoga? Sheetalta, coolness, calmness. And that's why if we heat the water also, boiling water is hot, and yet if we leave it aside, it comes back to its innate nature of coolness. If we freeze it also, after some time it comes back to that stability of coolness. And so we find that the soul's innate nature, so when we talk about dharma of the soul, Swadharma, the innate religion, that is the innate nature, the integral quality of the soul. And we've already seen that in our first lesson. The soul is a pure soul, peaceful soul, and we can remind ourselves of these virtues. So I can say that I am a peaceful soul, I am a pure soul, I am a powerful soul, I am a happy soul, I am a contented soul. So I remind myself of my true religion. So that is why when we talked about religion up to now, we were not so aligned to our awareness of ourselves as this being of light. And so we were only connected to the religion which we felt we belonged to at a physical level, which we are practicing as part of our philosophy. And so in this, when we are soul consciousness and we are connected to our true nature, that's the Swadharma which we are practicing at that time naturally. So in golden age and silver age, we were very strongly and very easily connected to our Swadharma. It was a natural part of our awareness. As easy it is today to be aware of ourselves as a body, there the soul was completely and naturally aware of itself as this being of light, as a soul full of all divine virtues and qualities. And because of that sweet awareness, divine awareness, the consciousness automatically created that environment of happiness, peace, and unity of thought and unity of religion, unity of language, unity of culture. And as we see in the tree, as we move above, that is, this trunk starts now dividing through its strong branches, and we find that we arrive to the third phase, which yesterday we saw as a copper age. And here copper age in this tree is depicted by this branching out of different thought processes. And this is the time, by the end of the silver age, by the end of that time, where slowly the human consciousness has traveled to an awareness where we start now seeing ourselves more at a physical level, becoming aware of our physical identity as our true identity. And that's a time when we say that the soul becomes body consciousness. It becomes body conscious, and which is what today we find it very natural within us. And that's the beginning. And that time, you see the deity souls as they become aware of themselves, those souls which were rooted in their own innate purity and divinity, when they start becoming aware of themselves as a physical being, and the awareness of the body consciousness slowly allows the acquired weaknesses which are subtly connected to body consciousness, weaknesses of greed, weaknesses of anger, lust, attachment, fear, all those negative feelings and emotions, when they start becoming slowly a part of our awareness and consciousness, that's a time when we start seeking out to our original purity. And naturally, that's a time when we also try to seek out to the source of this original love, purity, happiness. And so we start seeking out to God. And that's the time when He sends His messengers to give us that hope, the strength. And these messengers bring a very beautiful experience of their own personal journey when they have connected with God. And that's a time where slowly different religious preceptors arrive in the world, and they start sharing their message of hope, of peace, of purity, of their personal experience of connection with the seed. And this is the time when different religions begin. And so we have Islam, which comes, we have um, Abraham, and then Muhammad, who takes up that religion in future. Then we have Christianity, we have Jesus Christ who comes, we have Buddhism, which begins with Gautam Buddha. We have then later on, after a long time, we have Guru Nanak, and so many different religions. Jainism, we have Mahavir, and so many other different religions start emerging. And by the time we reach the beginning of the fourth phase, which we saw yesterday, Kali Yuga, and here in the tree we see now we have come to a stage of expansion. And we find that each religious preceptor very lovingly and very clearly depicts those virtues, values which are connected to our innate soul. Each one of them guides us to that beautiful way of life which was pure, divine, positive, healthy, happy, and also they share their experiences of God. And that's a time when the human consciousness, the human world is in pain and sorrow. And so as soon as they experience this purity and divinity from these messengers of God, the experience of happiness and connection with the Supreme becomes natural for them. And so slowly and slowly, every human being starts connecting itself to some religious preceptor, some philosophy, some practice of religion. And so we find, though the religious preceptors very lovingly have guided us towards the one Supreme Father, which they have been praying, which they have been sharing the message from, we find slowly we move into different parts of religion, thought processes, belief systems. And as maybe initially these religions start their journey, they are also connected to their small seeds of their religious fathers who have guided them with the divine message of God, divine message of virtues and qualities. And it was more like a message, but yet we find to be able to remind ourselves of this message every day, to integrate this message in our daily life after the religious preceptors have left their journey, they have moved away, they have left their physical mortal coil and moved away. That is a time when their followers, they are people who have been respecting them, following them, and really experiencing the connection with them as their leader, as their spiritual or their religious leader. We find those people have written down all their philosophies, and so we have these scriptures which have been created, and to integrate the spiritual knowledge which or the religious philosophy which the preceptor has guided, which the spiritual guide or the religious leader has guided them to integrate it in their daily life, they've created different customs and rituals. And so each religious thought process or each religion creates their own scriptures, their own rituals, and their own customs. And as this also moves on, we find still we are connected to the values which the religion was teaching. The path gives us happiness. The path still gives us an experience of love and connection with the seed. But then slowly, as we reach the stage of the Iron Age, that is when we see the tree in complete expansion, which we are seeing it today, where we find even the seeds of each religion, their message, their purity, their divinity, their universal approach towards seeing the world as one, towards always reminding everyone that God is one, that message also now has merged. And so, because of the expansion, we find that we have disaligned ourselves from the awareness of ourselves as this being of light. And now, for us, we are a physical being. And so, the religion which is being practiced in the family where we are born becomes our true religion. And so, the significance of the innate religion, that is why very beautifully in scriptures has always been said that dharta pariye par dharam na chori. It's been sung that in Sanskrit that even if the earth gives away, that is in a situation where you need to die, you need to give up your life, which is the most precious thing in our journey of life. Even if that happens, you have to give up anything, your life or anyone around, you should not give up your religion. And which is that religion? The religion of the soul, the religion of the innate self, the inner peace, love, purity, wisdom. This religion has not to be given up in any circumstances. And that's why that firmness towards religion, that dedication towards religion has been sung. But because we disaligned ourselves to the awareness of the soul and we aligned ourselves completely to the awareness of the self as a human being, we thought that this awareness or this praise is sung of the physical religion, the religion where maybe I'm born and so the family is practicing that religion. And so if I'm born into a family where Buddhism is being practiced, I thought that this is the praise of this religion and so I should not give up this religion. And rather than connecting with the pure essence which each of our religious preceptor had guided us, where they had guided us to remind ourselves of the being of light, of ourselves also as a soul, having virtues, qualities, and they reminded us of, through their personal journey, through their personal experiences, they reminded us of the Supreme Father, from whom they have taken this strength and message and guided us. But rather than connecting with the source, we started connecting ourselves only with the expansion of each religion. And in there also, rather than connecting to the essence of what the religious preceptor had guided us, that is the aspects of inculcating divine virtues and qualities, that is the aspect of dharana, inculcation of virtues and qualities, and transformation of the human consciousness from ordinary to pure to elevated to divine. So rather than going through that journey, we found ourselves more comfortable in just practicing those rituals and customs. And so no work was done on the self, that inner work was missing, and we were trying to practice everything at a physical level through our different rituals and customs. But as the journey reaches to the Iron Age, which we see today, because of body consciousness, now religion also becomes a means of conflict. Language becomes a means of conflict. These rituals, customs also have become means of conflict. So now we find that the Supreme reminds us that since we are also connected, we are a member of this tree of humanity. If we can see the tree again, the Supreme Father now wants us to connect back to the source. And I think each of our religious preceptor also wanted us to connect with the seed. And so this is a time where we need to reconnect with the seed of humanity. So we could be belonging to any religion, and we have to respect and love and have a lot of mm, dedication for our religion, for the religious preceptor of that religion. But behind those rituals and customs, I have to start imbibing, inculcating those divine virtues and qualities and bring about a transformation in the self. And for that, I need to reconnect to the seed, who's a source of spiritual virtues and qualities. And then we can actually fulfill even the pure desires of our religious preceptors. If we are true followers, we have to follow the journey which they have taken, where they have connected themselves to the seed. And so this is a time to come back to our true awareness of ourselves as a being of light, as a spiritual being, as a child of the Supreme, and recapture back the awareness of myself as a divine child of the Supreme, as a deity. So, a deity means a soul with divine virtues and qualities. So, basically, when we talk about the deity religion, it's the awareness more than a religion, or maybe more than something which you're practicing uh, in the form of rituals and customs. Deity religion is connected to our divine virtues and qualities. So that is why in this world also, in any religion, when someone is connected to some pure quality and is responding, reflecting that value, that virtue very naturally in their interaction with us, we say, oh, this person is like an angel, this person is like a deity. So why do we share that? Because as an angel or as a deity, we are very naturally connected to our divine virtues and qualities. So the Supreme is now reminding us to reconnect to the seed, reminding us of our true religion of the soul. That is the religion which allows us to imbibe divine virtues and qualities. And that's the deity religion, which is the source, or which is the basis, or which is the foundation of the world human tree. And so now we need to reconnect ourselves. And so when we see the different parts of religion, if we have already seen this journey, but maybe we can recapture it. We see the slide which we saw on in our second lesson, where we talked about the Supreme Father being the one who's accepted by all. And if we can go back for just a few moments, or maybe we can see it in this slide also. If we see all different religions, when we talk about Abraham and we talk about the Islam religion, there also we have found the Supreme being remembered as Allah, Nure Ilahi. Allah means the great, the highest one, the almighty authority. And they talk about the Supreme as being incorporeal, Nure Ilahi. So Nur again means light. And that's why we find they are very focused on remembering the Supreme as light, as the incorporeal form, no physical form, incorporeal form. And then we talk about, when we take the journey of Christianity, we saw that our Christ, our Son of God, the messenger of peace, also guided us towards the Supreme Father, God Father. And so he said that I touch, but God heals. And so all these miracles which he performed, he always gave his gratitude and credit to the Supreme. And he talked about God being light, kindly light. And he asked each one of us to remind ourselves that we are God's children, very pure. And we love ourselves and love our neighbor as God's child. And so he talked about that unlimited and unconditional love towards everyone, good wishes towards everyone. And so we find that all these religions, even Buddha talks about his meditative state of mind, always reflects his meditation or his deep connection with the source. Whenever we see the beautiful meditative state of mind of Buddha, his face is always reflecting the divine peace, the calmness, the inner joy which Buddha is experiencing in his connection with God, in his connection with the Supreme, in his connection with the seed. And so we find he talks about how this meditation, which he's sharing, the fourfold path, where he talks about how you can empower yourself to purify your consciousness and perform those elevated karma by which you accumulate pure, divine punya karma. And then we find that we also have the religion of Jainism, where again the connection with the Supreme is shown by a meditative posture of Mahavir and all the Tirthankars, and where the awareness of the self is seen between the forehead as a beautiful jewel, a light sparkling. And in that meditative state of mind, the focus is on experiencing the power to gain victory over sense organs. And that's why you should see Mahavir as even going beyond the allowing the awareness of the soul to be primary and to gain victory over the physical sense organs. And so the symbolic way is giving up even the costume. So the body is the costume. So where the focus is on giving up the awareness of the body, allowing this awareness of the self, innate being natural. And so I become victorious over my physical sense organs. And giving up the awareness of the body has been symbolically shown as giving up the costume, the clothes for the body. And so we find different religions. Moses talks about light, he talks about the burning bush, and then we have our Parsi brothers and sisters, Zoroastrians, talking about the Supreme as fire, light, energy. And so we find that all our loving religious fathers, religious preceptors have had a very important impact in each one of our lives because they have guided us towards the Supreme, towards the seed from whom they have been experiencing that deep connection and strength and peace and strength of the power to even send this message and give this message so that they can inspire so many souls at that moment of chaos and crisis in the world. And so we find that each one of them then has guided us in two aspects. One is connection with the seed, second is inculcation of virtues and qualities to improve our purity, to improve our state of mind and our karma. And so these two things are very important. And so now it is time for us to reconnect to the seed. And that's what each of our religious preceptor has guided us to do. And so once we reconnect ourselves to the seed and experience that loving connection through Rajyoga with the Supreme Father, we experience the power to not only transform our consciousness, but also be able to follow whatever our religious preceptor has guided us so that we create a lifestyle which is free from fear, free from worry, panic, stress, negativity, and any feeling of victimization, which I feel today because of this situation or because of this person, I'm unhappy or I'm stressed, or now because of the external situation of ill health, that the panic and stress is there in the state of mind. So we find that only with this Rajyoga meditation, I will have the power to inculcate the divine virtues and qualities which our loving religious preceptors have been guiding us. So when we talk about this concept of kalpatri, we find that sitting down that means being connected back to the seed, coming back home, coming back to our spiritual mother and father, experiencing, enjoying those moments of being in connection with our Supreme Father, our loving Father, our loving parent. So when I come back and I sit under the tree, that is, I spend moments where I can focus in this awareness that I am the beautiful child, I am this pure being of light, and I am God's most beautiful creation, His child. So the moments I sit down, that is, I have this focused experience, I allow God's energy, God's purity to empower me, to cleanse me, to, you can say, rejuvenate me gently, slowly. But then I can see a visible change in the way I feel about myself. I can see a visible change in the way I respond to situations, I deal with people. And so we find Raj Yoga meditation helps us to bring about those aspects of self-transformation which all our religious fathers have guided us for. So it's so important to be connected to that religious father whom we belong to in our religion, and yet reconnect to the seed. And so this is a time where we can now spiritually empower ourselves and cleanse ourselves, come back to our originality. And as soon as we see ourselves connected to the seed, and we allow God's love and purity to fill ourselves, we allow that companionship to become natural. As today we are naturally connected to our parents, which are also the seed of our family. So our parents, our father and mother are the seed of our family. So the more we are connected, all the family members to them, we find there's so much of harmony, there's so much of happiness in the whole family. So we find if we see the world as a family, the Supreme Father wants us now to reconnect to the seed. Because once we reconnect to this loving seed of the world, humanity, of the world tree, we find that we can experience that quality of pure consciousness for each other, the loving acceptance of each other, where we respect each other's different religion, different belief system, different customs and rituals which everyone is practicing in their journey towards cleansing themselves, towards purifying themselves, towards remembering God. We respect each other and we see the world as a family. And that's the message, or that's the significance which the Supreme Father shares of the Kalpa tree. So sitting down, automatically all our desires, that is connecting with the seed, automatically all our desires get fulfilled. And this is something which we can experience at a daily level. And so we will find that the more we move away from expansion. So if we go back to the tree and we see that today when we are reaching the stage of maybe Kali Yuga, the end of Kali Yuga, if we can go back to the tree and we see the expansion has moved into such a way that now we are in no connection with not only the seed but also the roots. And so if we see the tree again, Vineet Bhai, can we see the tree? And because we have disconnected from the roots of virtues and qualities of the soul, we have disconnected from the seed as being one supreme parent of the world, we find today we are aware of ourselves only at a physical level. And so the quality of consciousness towards each other is more focused on our body, which is also having different financial status, different age groups, different colors, different cultures, different countries, and then naturally different religions. And so because of that, if we see the expansion when the tree is now moved into a expansion form where now we are all disconnected from our originality and from the supreme. So now the world is a world of humanity which is in so much of conflict with each other. And there's so much of conflict even in the name of religion. So we find that unnecessarily we are creating pain and stress for each other. Unnecessarily we are creating so much of negative feelings and emotions for each other. And we find that this is a time where we also unknowingly have become instruments to create somewhere the transition, or we call it as destruction, but the transition of this world to a new world. So we find that we have disrupted the systems of the world, nature, which we are seeing already now. Nature has been disrupted, so we are facing the chaos there. We have disrupted our original loving awareness towards each other as a child of God, and so our spiritual brother, part of the world family. This awareness is disrupted, and so we can see so much of conflict amongst each other, so many wars which are happening on the worldwide. We also see that we have created means of destruction. So nuclear power and so many other means by which we have created destruction. And so if we see this time where destruction also is very naturally being created by the human consciousness, destruction of the old world and reconstruction of the new world. So this is a time of transformation. If we can remind ourselves yesterday when we saw the cycle, this is a time of confluence. This is a time when we need to reconnect to the Supreme Father and transform our consciousness from ordinary human consciousness to divine consciousness. And so this is that confluence age, which yesterday we saw the end of the Iron Age and the beginning of Golden Age. So this is that confluence time. We saw it's a time confluence of two ages also. It's a confluence of the soul with the Supreme. And the same confluence age is seen now in the tree. And so when we see the tree again, thank you so much, we find that here also we can see the confluence age, where in the end of the expansion, the transformation has begun. And the Supreme Father is giving us a spiritual knowledge and reconnecting us to the seed. He is giving us the spiritual wisdom of seeing ourselves as a soul and seeing the world as a family. The world as a human family together, and reconnecting ourselves to the seed, that is reminding ourselves that we are children of the Supreme Parent of this world. And so we have love and unconditional good wishes for each other. Now, this is the time also where the Supreme is giving us his wisdom and understanding and helping us to transform our consciousness. So, in this Purushottam Sangam Yuga, Purushottam, Purush in Sanskrit means soul, Purushottam, becoming the most elevated soul, the time of upliftment, the time when we have to become a pure and divine soul, where we have to rejuvenate ourselves. So in this confluence age, as we saw in the story behind Kalpatru, we are sitting down. That is, we are spending time where we are connected to the seed. And so this is a time when the Supreme has created, this yagya of knowledge. And so we find he has given us the spiritual wisdom, which he's sharing with us at a daily level, so that we can transform our consciousness from that ordinary human consciousness, where sometimes at some moments we go even below that human consciousness and sometimes behave in a way in which we cannot even be called a human being. So we come into a devilish consciousness sometimes. When we see the world today, that's also the consciousness which sometimes we're using. So we find to elevate ourselves, uplift ourselves from that ordinary human consciousness to a divine consciousness. This is a time when the Supreme Father has created this yagya of knowledge, this yagya of spiritual wisdom, where he's teaching us every day how we should see ourselves as a spiritual identity. He gives us the understanding, the experience of the soul. He gives us the knowledge of the Supreme, allows us to learn this art of Rajyoga, where we can connect with the Supreme, teaches us how we can imbibe this divine qualities at a daily level, the dharana which we need to experience within ourselves, the inculcation of all these virtues as a very subtle level in our consciousness, in our feelings, emotions. So the whole cycle of consciousness is what he is changing. And maybe tomorrow or sometime we will see that cycle of consciousness where we find that the Supreme Father, because he gives us the awareness of ourselves as a soul, through spiritual wisdom and meditation, he changes the way we think, feel, act, and then deal with each other and situations. So as is our consciousness, so is our state of mind. As is our state of mind, so is our attitude. As is our attitude, so is our vision, our perspective. As is our vision and perspective, so is our action. And as is our action, so is our experience. And our experience then reconfirms or empowers again our awareness or consciousness with which we began. So the Supreme Father allows us to come back to the awareness of ourselves as a soul. So as soon as I come back to the awareness as I am a soul, and that also I am a pure soul, peaceful soul, I am a loving soul. So this consciousness allows me to have those quality of thoughts and feelings which empower me and also create an environment of strength, of peace, of love, of good wishes around me. And then as those quality of thoughts then help me to sustain that attitude where I am using my virtues and qualities. And that attitude allows me to see, have a vision of seeing myself also as this beautiful light, but also seeing each one as a beautiful light, seeing all the circumstances also as those wonderful scenes of this cycle of time, of this drama, which have a lot of benefit. So, with this perspective, then I respond to people and situations in a proactive way, in a response which adds value, which supports the environment, which adds value to individual connection, which leads the situation towards a solution. And because of that response, because of those actions, my experience is very good. Empowered. My experience is very peaceful. Happiness is there. I feel more comfortable. I feel more stable. I feel more happy in the environment where I am, even though I'm facing a challenge. I'm able to become a image of support to others. So that inner happiness is there, and because of that experience, it recharges or reconfirms my consciousness. That is the being of light. So I reconfirm myself. Yes, this is my true awareness. I'm a being of light. And so this whole consciousness change, which the Supreme brings about, is at this time where we are connected to the seed. So in the confluence, we are sitting under the tree. That is, we are a part of the Supreme Father's beautiful, experience or beautiful institution of spiritual knowledge. And the Supreme has created this wonderful university, which now you are relating to as the Prajapita Brahma Kumari's Ishwari Vishwavidyalaya. So this is the time when he creates this beautiful institution of spiritual wisdom, and he teaches us Rajyoga so that we can reconnect to him and transform ourselves, purify ourselves. So this is that special time that we have to sit down under the tree, that is come together and reconnect ourselves with our own innate self, our own individuality as a being of light, our spiritual self, and also take this journey of self transformation. You can see, tapasvis seated down under the tree, and so this is a time of tapasya, and tapasya means focused spiritual effort. And now, because we have been also given this gift of time by the cycle of time, this is a time where now we have been automatically restricted to actually travel anywhere. So this is a time of tapasya for us. This is a time when we have received that special time from drama, we say, that is the scenes which we are seeing outside. The cycle of time is also called drama. So we say it's always a beneficial drama, kalyankari drama, that we have got this time for tapasya. We have got this time for self to transform our old habits, our old ways, our old maybe routines which we used to follow, and bring about those changes which we always wanted to bring about in ourselves. And I think this is that special time as a gift from the Supreme. So now, as we are listening to, there are 4 aspects of the spiritual study which the Supreme is teaching us, which we will later on understand in expansion. But these 4 aspects are first of all, we are every day being guided by the Supreme with spiritual knowledge, which we are listening to in this 7-day course. Second is, we are also being guided into how we can reconnect with the Supreme and empower ourselves and purify ourselves. Third is, every day there is focus on inculcating those divine virtues and qualities in our behaviors, in our day-to-day responses to situations. And fourth is serving. So every day we need to spend few moments where we can share this peace, this strength to the entire world. Very, very important. So every day in our meditation, spending those little moments to share peace, love, strength to our family, but also the world, especially those who are ill at present, and also to the environment where people are in so much of fear, panic, to those vibrations of peace, strength, to those health workers who are taking care of those who are ill, those leaders of different countries, to everyone who's in this journey of trying to take care of this difficult situation which has come. So now let us spend again time where we reconnect to the seed. And in these moments of meditation, we will also send those vibrations of love and peace to the world as we reconnect ourselves to the awareness that we are this beautiful being of light. I become aware of the subtle energy, the space behind my eyes, and I remind myself of the awareness of the soul. And as I see myself as this beautiful light, radiating calmness and silence, and allow this peaceful vibration to flow through my entire system, my entire body, from the forehead till my toes. And as this energy of peace and purity flow through my body, cleansing every cell, rejuvenating and strengthening every cell, I feel my body free from any ill health and allowing my body to heal. This healing energy I share in the environment of my family. I share this healing energy with people with whom I'm working and to the entire world. And in this experience of lightness, of stability of my physical body, feeling still and stable, I now take this journey beyond. This journey beyond this world of activity, this world of chaos, to that world of silence, my spiritual home. And as I reach this world of silence through my mind, through my inner eye, I see this large expanse of soft golden red light, the world of peace, the world of silence. And as I see myself, this beautiful light, enjoying the deep silence around me, feeling so free, free from the bondage of the body, free from the bondage of my own negative sanskaras, free from all those negative feelings and emotions. So calm, so light, so free. And as I rest my mind in this space of calmness and freedom, I become aware of the supreme light, my loving parent, my spiritual mother and father, the seed of humanity. And as I connect with my loving parent, I feel God's unlimited silence calming me, filling my mind with the power of peace and silence. This energy of sweet silence, pure peace, fills my mind with so much of stability and a feeling of security and calmness. I feel so stable within. And in this feeling of security, I know that whatever situations are there in front of me today, in front of the world today, everything will be right. Everything will be okay. And I feel so silent, peaceful, calm from within. As I become aware of my spiritual mother and father, I experience God's unconditional, unlimited love flowing towards me. And in this experience of God's pure love, I remind myself that He is my spiritual parent, the universal spiritual parent of the world. And in this moment of experiencing love from my spiritual father and mother, I now see the entire world as my family. For a few moments, I see the entire globe in front of me, different countries, different languages, different religions, different belief systems, different colors. And yet each one of them is a beautiful light. I know now that whenever I remember or I see any individual, any member of this beautiful world family, I will see the beautiful light shining between the forehead. And in the companionship of the Supreme Father, as the living seed of the world humanity, I send this vibration of God's pure, unconditional love and strength to each light, to each beautiful soul in the world. And as I'm sending this vibration of love and strength from God, I see the entire family as my family. The world as my family. And I send this vibration of peace, of strength to those souls in the world who are in pain, who are ill, who are sick, those who are taking care as health workers, taking care of the sick tirelessly. I send this vibration of peace, of strength, of calmness, of courage to those people in the world who are affected by this challenging time, this crisis in the world. I see the entire world as my family. And I send this vibration of strength, of courage, of peace, of pure love. I allow my mind to fill itself with God's love and peace, feeling light, feeling stable. I return back to the awareness of this room. Om Shanti. But now I know that every day I need to spend time for a few moments to send this vibration of love, strength, courage to the entire world. So now, because we are constantly connected with what's happening in the world today, we have time, so we are constantly updating and our information. Soon as we receive, because every day we are going to receive more and more information, which will give us stress surely, because we find the crisis is increasing. As soon as we receive any information, we should immediately take a moment and send that vibration of peace, vibration of hope, vibration of good health, vibration of courage to them. Every soul. especially the news which you hear, send that vibration to that soul, to that child of God. So it's a beautiful practice which we have to inculcate every day now. And later on, I will be requesting Praful Bhai or Vineet Bhai. Can you hear me?
Yes, sister. Yeah.
Yeah, Vineet Bhai, we will send this very beautiful program, which episode which came yesterday from of Shivani Ben, which Shivani Ben has guided us how we should make use of this time very beautifully. How, like today we were saying, this time has been gifted to us by the Supreme and by this beautiful, you know, we can say beneficial drama, and how we can make those wonderful changes in our life, in our thinking, in our schedule, in our day to day lifestyle, which will help us also in the future. So we can send that episode, that link to that episode to everyone.
Sure, I
Yeah,
think
maybe
we can
later
proceed.
on. Sure, sure. Thank you so much. And maybe we will just have this little practice every day, like we have been checking the homework which we've been giving. Today, this homework has to be added, where because now we see ourselves as close to the seed of this world human tree. We are children of the common parent, and we understand this beautifully. And so as soon as we listen, I mean, every day we have to send those vibrations in the morning and in the night whenever we are sitting down and meditating to the entire world. But as soon as we hear the information about someone being ill or some other challenge anywhere, immediately send that vibration. Just take a moment and send that vibration. That will really be where we become an image of support to the world. So, other than this, every hour practicing will be very helpful. Meditating in the morning, evening, the Numa Sham time, and in the night, writing a letter to God and meditating for a few minutes. So, we have this list which is there in front of us. And as much as we are able to inculcate these little changes in our schedule, what will happen is then when we come back to our daily work schedule, our busy schedule, these things will stay because they have been inculcated for such a long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sister Deepa. Thank you once again. Yeah,
Absolutely, Praful. Yeah. Thanks,
yeah,
sister.
Praful bhai, go ahead, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Thanks. So, before we move on to the question and answer session,
Yes.
I just want to make a quick announcement.
Yes.
While I make the announcement, members can, put on their questions on the chat window. So,
Yes.
just to let everybody know that we had got various requests for having this 7 days course in Hindi language as well, because
Yes.
many are even comfortable in Hindi. So good news is that we are starting the Hindi batches from tomorrow. Similar format which we have the English ones. So as you can see on my screen, we have two batches, that is morning 9 to 10 a.m. and evening 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. So if any of your friends are interested to join the Hindi batch, or even if anyone of you all feel that you would like to revisit the course in Hindi version, if you all have skipped some of the sessions, or if you feel that you need some deeper understanding, some more meditation practice, so you all are welcome. I've even put this timings into the chat window as well as the registration link. So we have this registration link as jagdambabhavan.org/event/course. So once you go here, you will find the registration window. You can register for yourself and you will get the meeting ID and other joining details on email. So just thought to share this so that anyone who wishes to join Hindi can join. So now I think we can move over to questions. Vinit bhai, you can take over. Thank you so
Praful bhai,
much.
in the meantime, just a minute. Will you share the link which Didi was speaking of?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'll just
maybe
get hold of that link. If I get, I'll share it today or else maybe tomorrow,
yeah.
because
What
I
I'll do is
myself did not
I'll
see
just
that.
send it to you. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
send it to you. Then maybe by the end of the questions you can send it.
sure. That should be fine.
Okay, so
Okay, thank you.
yeah, thank you, Praful bhai. Thank you, sister. We move on to the question answer session now. The question is, There's a question here. I have taken this course long back. Always had a question: what made us degraded to Dwapar body consciousness?
Okay, just a second. Just a second. So basically, we find that the awareness, I mean, anything which is created new has to become old. So it's the law of depreciation also. If we see that we can create anything new only, but as we start using something, there is a little wear and tear, there is a little use of that, and so slowly the depreciation or the degradation of that physical thing also comes, but even it's connected to our consciousness. So our consciousness in golden age surely is in our true awareness, that is our true original self. And then as we start coming in contact with this physical body, because this is five elements of nature, so energy connected to matter. So we find that matter very subtly starts influencing energy. But the soul is spiritually very empowered and very strongly connected to its innate virtues and qualities. So for more than nearly half of the cycle of time, we are completely connected to that innate state of happiness, purity, divinity. But it's only in the third phase that now that influence of matter has come to that extent where we start relating ourselves as our physical identity. And it's only by the end of the cycle is at this time that we see that the influence of matter has come to such a level that the energy awareness only is missing, and we have become completely disconnected from our true nature and qualities. So we find that in a cycle, transformation is natural. And so this is a journey of transformation. And again, this is the opportunity to recharge and rejuvenate ourselves. So, like physics also talks about the law of entropy. And so, from any system, from a position of 100% utility, comes slowly to a position where now the energy in the system, the power in the system is reduced to a stage where it's nearly coming to a zero degree. And that's a time when they connect this system with an external source of energy. That's what the law of entropy says in thermodynamics physics. And so we find that as soon as the external source of energy is connected back to the system is rejuvenated. And that's what is about the journey of the soul as the Supreme Father has revealed. So he guides us that this is a time of rejuvenation. So yes, surely we have come to the stage of degradation. So that is something which we are experiencing. It's not only something which we listen to, but we are experiencing this. At a daily level also, if we see in the morning, like now in meditation, we have meditated in the beginning of the session, we meditated now, we had some very powerful spiritual inputs. We begin the day also with so much of strength and positivity, and yet we find after some time this also degrades, and then we are not able to sustain this energy, like with few tips which we have seen, like every hour or something like that. Then we come back to the consciousness of being affected by things which are happening around us, again becoming aware of ourselves as a human physical being and all. So we find that degradation is normal, the transformation is normal, the transition is normal. So it's happening, and we are seeing it in our lives. So at present, the most important thing is to rejuvenate. So we need to focus more on that aspect to rejuvenate.
Thank you so much. Sister, now we have two similar questions. I will read them out both. Hello, Didi. How do you deal with people who are very negative and influence the surroundings very strongly? In spite of trying and sending good wishes to that person, it doesn't help. How do we change that energy and help that person become positive?
Yes,
And similar question, I try to explain people around me not to be negative, but they are hell bent on being negative. What to do?
yes. So we find that maybe at this moment, because we are all in our personal journey, so rather than allowing the focus to remain to change the environment and change people around us, first the focus has to be only on changing my own state of mind, my own attitude, my own feelings, my own emotions. So first I have to check how I can change my own state of mind, my feelings, my attitude towards this person. Rather than that, I think many times we are aware, I have to have that concern that things should change, things should become better, people should become positive and all of that. But if we check our own state of mind, our own negativity, or our own emotional upheaval towards what's happening around us is not changing. Mhm. So even though we are meditating every day, if that is not changing, that means our journey of meditation is not so empowering. So first I have to change. I have to change the vibration which I am giving to myself and to that individual, rather than focusing on that individual, to myself. So when I start seeing even things which are negative, like we saw Iron Age. So Iron Age is like the darkness of night. So if we see night also as a means of, reminding us that now we need to move towards light. Darkness is giving us unhappiness. So now it's a time to move towards light. So if we see this situation outside, which is of darkness, of pain, of sorrow, as a reminder to us that now we need to take care. We need to take charge of our own life and move towards light, towards spiritual understanding, towards spiritual benefit in our life, towards transformation in our life. So as soon as we see this situation which is going on around us, the negativity, stress, chaos, as a means of reminding ourselves that it's more important for me now to take this journey of self empowerment, of self change. And if I start focusing on that, and as I change and as I understand what is happening around me, and I have that acceptance and change myself, my vibration 100%, my own thoughts and my own feelings in my inner world will change. And slowly I will be able to also have a more positive impact in the family where I'm living, and in that small space where I'm working every day. After some days when you will start going to your offices, that space where you're working. So even if I'm able to bring about that change, that itself is a big contribution which we can give today in the world. So that is why in the Brahma Kumaris, the focus is self transformation for world transformation. We are surely having this higher vision of world transformation. But what am I doing every day? What am I contributing? So they say, no, think globally, but act locally. So if I start focusing only on that and enjoying that journey of personal change, personal transformation, personal individual upliftment of my own state of mind, my own frequency of feelings, emotions, thoughts, then seeing the transformation in my words, where I was having those low energy words or those ordinary energy words, and now high energy words, more empowering words, words which are full of positivity. So once that transformation comes, and then in my actions, how I'm responding, once that transformation is felt and seen and reflected in my inner world and my environment around me, at home, at work, once that is slowly complete, then automatically, even if you don't consciously are aware, you are contributing to world change. You are contributing to be part of solutions in the world. But first focus has to be there. So rather than worrying about why this other person is not changing or why people are not becoming positive, we have to start thinking about ourselves. Because we find that if we also start thinking like this, that why this person is not becoming positive, why this person is negative, why the situation is like, I remind myself of that story of Akbar and Birbal. So we find that, Akbar talked about how he wants to know how many people in his region, his country, are honest. And Birbal said that, okay, let us ask everyone to pour one glass of milk in that pond which has been emptied, and you know what happened. So everyone thought that let me put just a glass of water. Everyone else is putting milk. So it's okay. And that's what's happening. Everyone thinks that this person is not negative. So what? What is the meaning of me being positive? That person is not changing. Why should I put so much effort in changing? So everyone is thinking like that. And that is why today we find the world is still stuck into that same phase of negativity and stress. I have to change. I have to take this beautiful journey. And it's going to benefit me because change means growth. So at present, let me focus only on that and enjoy that success of personal change, personal growth, and then automatically I will be able to make an impact in my inner world and the environment around me at work and my family.
Thank you so much, sister. The next turn is brother Rahul, who is waiting for last 10 minutes. I'm unmuting you,
Okay.
brother. Go ahead with the question.
I'm sorry.
Hi, good morning, sister. Uh,
Yes.
my question is, what is your take on the theory of evolution? The second
Yes.
thing is, I've been getting these forwards about how Mother Nature is responding to us with this coronavirus and all because of our lifestyle. But at the same time, you mentioned about degradation in any cycle that is very
Yes.
natural. So, are
Yes.
we really to blame, or is this just the course of nature? It creates something, and then this degradation, and then it ends.
Yeah. So as we saw that, in by the time, if we see in the cycle, so if we have reached the phase of time where we have disturbed the cycle of nature also, we have disturbed the balance of nature that we already know through a lot of information being given to us by the environmentalists, and we are aware of all these things. Everyone in the world is concerned about this. So many organizations like UN are working very consciously in this effort, and so we know that. So we know that we have disturbed nature, we have disturbed our own physical nature, body's nature also. We have disturbed the discipline of getting up early and sleeping in time. That cycle itself is disturbed. And so many things, at a daily level, in our own health, in our own family, so many balances which we had naturally have been disturbed, and we are facing the challenge because of that. So because even health wise, because we are not able to sleep early and get up early, the quality of our sleep, the quality of our energy level, fatigue level is also different than food, and so many things we find. So we have already disturbed our natural healthy and happy lifestyle, and that has also had an impact on nature because we have disturbed the balance of nature. So surely what we are facing is a part of our creation of the human consciousness. That is why, yes, today also we saw that unknowingly by the end of Kali Yuga, we have also created means of destruction or degradation of the world. Even consciousness level, the stress which is there is not because with people of different countries or different belief systems or different philosophies or different religions. Today, pain, conflict, stress is even between two members of the same family. So my own brother, my own sibling, my own husband or my own wife or my own children, that same conflict is there. So somewhere we find that we have reached that time where if we see in the end of the cycle, or if we see today as we saw the kalpa tree, in the end of where the tree is completely disconnected from the seed, and the values and virtues which the human consciousness had as a part of the human spirit naturally. So the essence of this tree, the sap of this tree of virtues and qualities has dried up, is no longer there in our natural state of mind. And that is why we can see the tree has decayed. And so we have somewhere created and been responsible for whatever chaos and crisis is there in the world today. We have a role to contribute, all of us. And so that is why they say that, we are talking about this virus also being not only a curse of nature, but somewhere the human consciousness has come to a state where we are going to face the repercussions of those wrong decisions and wrong karmas which we have performed. And still, we find that at this moment, now that we are facing this crisis situation, at this moment, what is the role which I can play? I have to now at least become an image of support to my own self, but also to the world, to people around us. So on the basis of understanding of the journey of human consciousness, we have seen yesterday and today that understanding is there. But the most important focus is the present. Because maybe if we have a difference of idea about what has happened in our past and how we have evolved, it's okay. But the present is important. What is the role which we need to play in the present? And I can become an image of support, an image of calmness and silence, where I can give that vibration of strength and peace to people around me and to the world only when I experience that within myself. So this is a time where we need to, if we have begun the journey of self-empowerment, we need to strengthen it. And if we have not begun, we need to begin. It's time. It has to happen now. And automatically, this beautiful, beneficial drama has given us this opportunity, because now we are at home. We don't need to go anywhere. We have to be at home to be safe. And so we can use this opportunity to be with ourselves and change our feelings, thoughts, and all. And it's very, very important what we are doing now and how we would like to support the world at present.
Thank you, sister. I take up another two questions. It's 8:26. We go ahead with another two questions.
Yes.
Okay. So this question is from two persons. I will read them out. I am able to slowly apply this knowledge to daily life situations. Yet there are some close relationships where application of this knowledge is very difficult or seems impossible. Please advise.
Yes.
And another one related, how do you deal with people who gives us negative vibes, even if you want
Yes.
to heal them or improve your relationship with them?
Yes. When it comes with people, when we are seeing the world today, when you hear these situations where so many people are leaving their body also, we find that as such, life is not predictable any longer. It's unpredictable. And we really don't know what's going to actually happen. Rather than creating fear, but we need to understand that life is unpredictable. And any difficult situation can come in front of us also. So what is the call of time now? What do we need to do? I need to allow my mind now to be free from all emotion of hatred, negative feelings, complain, blaming people or others for whatever things they have said or done. Now is not the time. The call of time is to let go of all this past and to allow our mind to be only full of that love, that good wishes for myself, because that will first keep my body healthy. Because now it's a time for me to take responsibility to constantly give that healing, positive energy to my body, so that my body is more healthy, my immune system is strong, and to my family and to all people who are close to me, my family at work also, and to the world. So how can I give that healing energy when I've not been able to heal my mind from the past feelings and emotions which I'm holding on to for other people? Now is the time to let go, to forgive. And so we find that if we see our own journey of life, God has also forgiven us so many times. So many things we have said, done, which have been negative, which have given pain to people in the family, to people at work. And yet we find that God's vision towards us is so comforting, so benevolent, so forgiving, so open, so unlimited, where He still sees only our own virtues, our own qualities, and He is giving us the strength to transform. And so we find that when I have also sometimes said something, done something which has not been pleasant, which has given pain to others, then if I am not perfect, how do I expect other people also to be perfect and be free from their weaknesses or negativities? And in this moment of time, my focus is towards self change. I have a lot of work, a lot of self work to do. Time is less, I have a lot of work to do. And so I really don't have time to think about why people are not changing and why they are behaving like this. Even if they are in the family. In the family also, it's the energy which I'm giving them, which will influence our relationship. So at least now, because we are at home we have to take this opportunity to focus on forgiveness and letting go of any negative feeling, emotion, hatred, feeling of revenge, or whatever is there in our mind. All that baggage which we have been carrying up to now, let go. And as you meditate, you will find God's unlimited forgiveness gives you the power to forgive others. He has forgiven us at every moment of our life. We have felt His unconditional love and support. Allow that energy to fill you with that energy of forgiveness and let go. The call of time is to only send good feelings, good wishes, pure feelings, peace, love, strength to everyone, to our family, to people at work, and the world.
Sister, if there are a few more questions pouring in, can we take them all? Or if you say yes, I will read them out.
One or two, maybe.
Okay, fine. So, question from
Yes, we
Sister.
will also have one day of session, maybe only for questions, also, we can have.
Yes, sister, that's a good idea. So, question from Sister Soma. It's in these difficult times when the soul has become so weak, how can we develop this strength to send positive vibrations?
Yes, that is why you're right, sister, and that is why we need to take this opportunity. Sorry, we need to take this opportunity to begin that journey of self empowerment first, rather than sending vibration. Because what happens is, what I feel, what thoughts and feelings I create, I will automatically radiate, whether I want or not. I will automatically radiate in the environment. So if I focus on creating those feelings, thoughts, emotions which are of self benefit, self empowerment, self healing. And so we find, when I create those feelings and emotions through the spiritual journey which we have begun through this meditation course, automatically I will become stronger and stronger. And in that journey, I'm automatically radiating that energy in my family, in my space at home. And when I'm thinking about people, I'm radiating that energy to them also. So first we begin with that. Then slowly, slowly, as we feel more stronger, more lighter, more peaceful with ourselves, then we can consciously also send this vibration of peace to others, strength to others.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Romel. I lose my focus all the time. I'm distracted. Wastage of time, and there is guilt at the end of the day. I know all the best things I have to do and what I need to do, but I lose focus. So, how to remain mindful?
Yes. So in the beginning now, because we have this schedule, we can create a schedule for ourselves. So in the beginning, I have to be a little lovingly, gently, but firm with myself. And it's like, maybe we can create a vision. It's like a goal for us, which we need to achieve for a week or something. And we can give ourselves, that vision that once we achieve this goal, it's going to really make me much doing, following a schedule which I've always wanted to follow. And so in the beginning, you have to be very lovingly firm with yourself. It's like that child whom you want to lovingly guide. So try to see how you can enjoy different activities throughout the day, plan it out, and focus yourself lovingly, be firm with yourself. Hmm. Lovingly, why? Because don't have negative feelings for yourself and guilt for yourself, but be firm. And suppose you felt that, okay, you missed one, at least do the second one. If you missed that, do the third one. So don't just keep worrying, oh, I did not get up early, so I can't do this, I missed this, I planned this, so I can't do this. As soon as the feeling is there, okay, I can do it, start doing it, start doing it. So every throughout the day, every schedule which you have packed yourself, keep doing that. Then keep taking breaks if you want, but start doing things in the as you say, and with that awareness that I'm a powerful soul, with the awareness that morning meditation which we begin with is very powerful. I'm a powerful soul. I'm a victorious soul. I'm a child of God. God is with me. I will surely be able to do it. Visualize yourself doing and following this routine which you have created for yourself wonderfully throughout the day, for the whole week. With these powerful thoughts and little firmness for the self, do it. Then one day, the second day, third day, once you do it for a week, then you become easy. But create those good feelings for yourself. If you create this feeling that I've not been able to do anything, I will not be able to do it, I'm not focused, this thought itself depletes our self-esteem. I was not focused, but today I am. I didn't do it yesterday, but today I will do it. So try to reconnect to your own positivity for yourself. So good wishes for yourself first.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
There's one sister, Jaya Lakshmi. She has raised her hand. Sister, I'm unmuting you. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Didi. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to Rajyoga course and I am talking to you directly. I'm so happy. I have been following Brahma Kumari's messages and Shivani Didi's videos for quite some long time. And my daughter is a health worker. She is in her internship and she is facing on a regular basis COVID patients also. And though I can connect to her and my son who is in abroad, I can send them wishes, strength.
Sure,
But
sure.
I am actually, I'm not that much worried. But when I see the people who are intentionally spreading this virus, who are affected by this virus, and they are spitting in the public places, and how can we connect to the souls who are behaving with debility or more cruel? And actually my strength and whatever I have is not at all sufficient. It will be possible only with the great souls like you. And when I see the compassion in your eyes and everything, now I feel so happy. And please send powerful vibrations to the souls who are behaving with debility.
Yes, surely, we need to have a lot of gratitude for your daughter who is looking after all these COVID patients, and they are angels of love, angels of mercy from God, and they are doing this wonderful work of healing people. So, surely, a lot of loving vibrations to your daughter, and surely every day in meditation, you should send those vibrations to your family and other people. As you see, we find that this awareness of responsibility is not there, and so many people still are not aware of what they should be doing and how they should support society. But well, that is nothing new for us because people have always, some of them have not never been able to take up that responsibility of taking care of what's happening in society. So we find that this is going to happen, and so my focus in, as you said, in meditation, we should send those vibrations. We individually cannot do that, but when we are in company of God, and in that companionship with the Supreme, we see those people and we still see them as souls, as God's children. We allow God's energy, God's love to reach them. So that at least our state of mind doesn't become restless, is not affected by their behavior. Because as soon as my state of mind gets affected by their behavior, I lose the power to even heal myself. So I become part of the problem. They are already part of the problem, but I lose power myself and I also become part of the problem. So it means the power of negativity is so strong that it influences my state of mind and I also become negative about my own self. So rather than allowing that to happen, we allow God's company to give us strength, to give us power, to remain part of solutions, and send those vibration of mercy and compassion to them and God's energy to them, so that sometime or the other they can begin their journey and they can also change. But at least we send vibration of good wishes to them also, and so it allows my energy to still remain pure, positive, and healing for my own body and for my family around me.
Thank you so much, sister. One last question. During meditation, you said about our spiritual mother and father. I couldn't
Yes.
understand. I only understood as a point of light. Kindly correct the
Yes.
understanding.
Yes. So surely at a form level, because I myself is a being of light, a point of light energy. So the supreme parent, the spiritual parent, God, our supreme parent, is also a point of light, the source of light. But only thing is that when we talk about him being as a parent, we all would like to enjoy both relationships of a parent. A parent being a father, a parent being a mother. And it doesn't mean just being a brother or being a sister, because today we have so many fathers who are very good mothers, and we have many mothers who are very good fathers. So it's just a quality of caring of a father and a mother. A father always being there to guide you, to always being there to physically support you, and so many other things. Some resources always are being available by our father, guiding, being always resourceful, and the mother having that unconditional love and mercy for us, and unconditional pure feeling of care, concern, a deep sense of belongingness. And so we find that when we connect with the Supreme also as being our spiritual mother and our spiritual father, we experience all this love, strength, guidance from the Supreme, as we experience at a day-to-day level from our physical parents. We experience it spiritually from the Supreme. That's why we remind ourselves that He is our spiritual parent, our supreme parent, our loving father and mother. Thank you.
Thank you, sister, so much for sharing your wisdom with us once again.
Mm.
And hope we are all have been, we have all learned our lessons today. And tomorrow we are again meeting for the karma, right?
Karma philosophy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
See you again
Thank you.
tomorrow. Thank you.